Hey guys, it's postboxpat. Welcome back to the Chapter 3 Season 1 storyline video for this season's opening and also what's going on currently in the island. So to start with, we have to look back at the event, and during the event we know that Dr. Sloan had no idea really what was going on in the outer world. She was inside of her IO base, we assume, which is in the center of the island, and she was basically doing some crazy mind tricks on Jones, maybe to work out something that was going on in the world of the loop and stuff. I don't know exactly what her plan was, but we know that the Foundation had to step in to kind of make sure the 0 point does not completely destabilize and get into the Cube Queen's hands, because currently IO control the 0 point, as we know, and the Foundation had to step in to stop the last reality, the Cube Queen's army, from actually taking control of the 0 point, because that would have been even worse than IO controlling the 0 point. So the Seven and the Foundation eventually figured a way of taking out the actual Cube Queen herself, and that was water. They used water to destroy her by flipping the island so she would touch the water and completely disappear, which was their plan after all. But then it leads into some details about what's next for the plan of the Foundation and why he left the 0 point to IO themselves rather than actually letting the last reality take control. Check this out in the opening scene from this season.
I suppose I owe you an explanation. We've all been through a lot the last few years, and there's much more you don't even remember. You've all fought the good fight, but until we set the 0 point free, we'll be facing threats like the last reality, and worse. There will be no escaping it. That's why I need your help to destroy the imagined order. As long as they're exploiting the 0 point, everything is in danger. With your help, we can free ourselves from this place and leave the loop for good. We can all go home.
So there you have an overview of where this chapter begins. The Foundation sets the plans in stone to defeat the Imagined Order, knowing that they're tampering with the 0 point not just inside of the world of Fortnite, but also on the outside and putting people into this loop. It's going to be crazy and it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to break you guys down what is currently going on the island. And I just love this little screenshot from the trailer. I loved it. If you are new around here though, as always, don't forget to tap that subscribe button. Roughly 80% of you watching aren't subscribed, and consider popping in code POST to the item shop to support me further. And tap a like button on the video. It would mean the absolute world to me. Let's go for 3,000-4,000 likes. It's a little goal, but with a little bit of support, I think we can get there. Okay, so where are we starting? Well, I thought we'd start off with just the characters on the island this season with the actual Seven. So there are currently 3 different members of the Seven on the island currently, and that's the Scientist, the Visitor, and the Foundation himself. And they all have a little kind of bio which we can read through, which I think you guys will like. Let's start off with them in order. So the Visitor, his intentions are currently unknown, an explorer and a navigational expert, here to help chart the best course of action for the Seven. These days he's more of the strong, silent type. Kind of cool because, you know, we all know that he's very good at navigational stuff, as we saw in the Season 4 original event where we saw the rocket take off. So that was kind of cool. I like that one for the Visitor. The Scientist has a really funny bio, which I just had to put in today's video. His mission is also unknown, but it's hard to say what people admire most about the Scientist: his brilliant engineer's mind, or his dashing good looks, or even how skillfully he writes his own bios. I thought that was pretty cool for the Scientist overall. And then finally, the Foundation. His mission is everything: leader of the Seven, defender of reality, protector of the island, and leader of the Seven. So yeah, pretty cool to see that he is actually protecting things higher than kind of IO. He's like against IO. It's a battle between him and IO, and that's where the storyline is going. But currently, we've got a lot of stuff going on, because in the actual event, we see, why does she keep sending me here, is a line that the Foundation says. And this is very important, because this kind of points towards, like, who is she? Just take a little listen to the line.
Why does she make me keep saving you?
So yeah, you heard that. But who is she? Who is sending the Foundation to do these tasks? Is it Geno? Is it the sisters? We're not too sure, but we know there are 7 members of the Seven, with the Foundation being one of them, or maybe Foundation being the leader and there being 7 other members. We're not too sure if there's 8 or 7 members. I assume it's probably just going to be 7 to keep it easy. But who is she? Is it the Paradigm? Is it going to be Geno and the sisters, who are maybe members of the Seven? Or is it even Singularity, who is possibly Paradigm as well? We don't know all these details yet, but it's interesting to see what's going on. Now, with that being said, that leads us into the new tapes which have been added in for the storyline this season, which we're going to break down for you guys right now. So listen to them first, and then I'll go over exactly what's going on currently on the island.
Paradigm, it's me. I'm guessing you heard what happened. Obviously, we had more ambitious goals than simply flipping the island. That was just one step in a scrupulously planned attack that would have reduced the imagined order to smoking crater, to put it mildly. But the reality left us exposed and overextended. If they manage a counterattack before we recover, it's over. All of it. Look, I know our history is complicated, but I want you to know I never lost faith in you. Okay, I did. But only for 5 minutes, maybe a few weeks tops. It's hard to believe that someone who went through what you went through would hold the line, but I know you did. So we really do not deserve your help right now, not at all, but we need it.
So the first thing the tapes mention is the scientists calling out for the Paradigm to return and help them. We learn that the scientists announced that they've been left exposed and overextended after the island flipping, and they talk about if they do a counterattack, there's going to be mass precautions taking place, and they possibly could lose complete control of the current situation. That is who though? Who would do the counterattack? Would it be the Last Reality and the Cube Queen, or would it be the IO? I'm guessing the Last Reality and the Cube Queen, but it could also mean the IO. We don't 100% know. And then later on in the tapes, we learn about Singularity actually having quite a lot of knowledge of something in the past with protecting the 0 point.
It's hard to believe that someone who went through what you went through would hold the line, but I know you did.
I think this line itself is really important, and it could even link the Paradigm herself to being the Singularity. During the event, which took place in the Unvaulting event, we saw that Singularity's helmet was in front of the 0 point. Was she protecting the 0 point for an extended amount of time before possibly IO took control of the 0 point during the Black Hole event? Or has IO always had the control of the 0 point? I'm not too sure, because there's a line at the start of the opening of this season where you see the Foundation explain how this has been going on for years, some stuff that we don't even remember. It's like there's been a war between the Seven and IO, or the Seven themselves trying to retake control of the 0 point, but the IO are always slipping through and coming with like a better option to gain the full control. As we know, they're on the outside of the loop as well, not just on the inside, but also on the outside.
We've all been through a lot the last few years, and there's much more you don't even remember. You've all fought a good fight, but until we set the 0 point free, we'll be facing threats like the Last Reality, and worse.
So that's an interesting point to point towards. So that's why I feel like Paradigm has had experience protecting the 0 point, and lots of things have been happening. And one that I really like to look at is what happened during, I guess, the monster and alien event. We know that Paradigm isn't in a good relationship currently with the Seven, and I believe this is because she used the 0 point to defeat the monster, which was not really a good idea. We know that Paradigm possibly is Singularity, that's what I'm referring at here, and I feel like her Singularity form is like a disguise form that she used to get away from IO, maybe when she was on the island protecting the 0 point. It was like her disguise that she used to kind of be like, yeah, I'm not part of the Seven, but really I am. So that's my prediction there. But if Paradigm was to be the one inside of the monster suit, the Singularity, bear in mind the skin did come out at that time as well, we know that she used that 0 point power to defeat the monster. And the Seven, they would have not liked this, because it caused everything from there on, didn't it? With that happening, that caused all the events like the End, Midas, etc. All that started really because the 0 point was left exposed at the end of that event, which was pretty cool. And at the end of that event, Paradigm was like, oh no, I need to make a runner. I'm scared what the Seven are going to think of what I've done here. And she just flies off with, I guess, the Cuddle Team leader, the Metal Team leader, which is hilarious. So that was a pretty interesting point to make there. And now we actually have the second tape. So let's listen to this and we'll look into this a little bit further.
This is the scientist broadcasting on the 7 secure channel. At 0400 hours, we received a ping from the Paradigm. Still need to confirm authenticity and verify that we're not being hacked, spoofed, tricked, or otherwise deceived. But I believe it's the real deal. I know that among our ranks, there are still some mixed feelings about the Paradigm. But for the sake of survival, we need to think of her as an ally We are the Seven. We have a duty to rise above grudges and petty disagreements for the greater good. And yes, Foundation, I'm looking at you. I can see your face through that mask. Regardless of the past, there is no future without her.
And that's where this season leaves us. It leaves us with confirmation that the Foundation probably does not really like what Paradigm did, possibly during that event, which kind of makes sense. Using the 0 points energy to defeat the monster was probably not a good idea, and we are now left on the island with the scientists calling for help and getting confirmation that Paradigm is out there. They've received a signal and they just need to confirm that it's actually her and not possibly IO, maybe trolling or kind of using it as like a kind of back lead in, where imagine just Dr. Sloan just appears and like, haha, I'm not Paradigm, I'm here to defeat you, and then there she is again, which would be really cool. I think that'd be a really good twist. But that leaves us with the current map and what's going on the island storyline wise. Well, side storyline, we know there's some stuff going on at Greasy Grove with Durburger. If you haven't checked out my recent video, I'll link it at the end of this one. It's a little cool storyline Easter egg for you guys. I don't really want to talk about it here though, because it's only a side story. We also have the Joneses POI, basically makes it kind of crucial and important that we know that Jonesy is going to be something to do with the storyline. There's a few quests over here where they kind of talk about Dr. Sloan and the Foundation and stuff, and about all the different Jonesies. They're all located here as NPCs. They don't always spawn every single game, but they do spawn, and that kind of just lets us know that Jones has something to do with the storyline, but we can't really know exactly what it is. We know that he has a lot of information though, because he's one of the first ever inside of the loop and has been working at IO for many years. So it's exciting stuff. And that's it really for my chapter 3 season 1 storyline video. If you have enjoyed, tap that like, tap that subscribe if you're new around here. I'll be producing storyline videos every week. The tapes come out to keep you guys in the loop of what's going on in the world of Fortnite. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, this is postboxpat signing